Hey, it's been a while, hasn't it? Well, I'm aware it's been a long moment since we've talked, and the last time we did was just us throwing insults at one another to only barely become neutral with each other. But even after all that, I hope you know I still feel a bit of pity for everything. The reason why I left wasn't just for you ignoring me or whatever it was. I slowly realized that the things that we/you did to each other wasn't right. I fought long and hard about it, and I eventually decided that cutting you out of my life would be the better idea for myself and the others around me, instead of stretching the situation out further than necessary. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but it was for the best. But before I get into that, I do want to discuss the very beginning, with the time I first found out about your existence, because it feels pretty necessary to admit. I first discovered your channel in early 2019 to late 2018 at the age of 9 on an anonymous account. That exact now deleted video that I stumbled upon in my recommended had me laughing for several minutes straight. I ended up wanting to see more, so I went to your channel to do so. I don't know what I saw in you back then, but during that time, I basically consider you as my comfort gacha YouTuber. Any other one couldn't compare to how well your editing was, for me at least, in my little 9-year-old brain. Examples? Moving houses and adjusting to my new surroundings? I watched your channel. Going through the roughest 5th grade year of my life ever? I watched your channel. Losing my first pet guinea pig and struggling with grief? I watched your channel. Your videos always sparked a feeling of happiness and joy in me. I also still vividly remember binge watching your content in summer 2019 at a park on a large metal bleacher by myself when the sun shined bright, and more specifically at the very top of that bleacher, as well as making my own mini skits in gacha life before I even started making content myself. And I now consider that to be the best time of my life. Eventually, in November 2019, when I was only 10 years old, my mom decided to allow me to own a proper YouTube channel. And that's when I decided to start featuring you in my videos. Sort of like a little silent thank you for helping me get through everything that I went through that year. But it unfortunately did not go as I wanted to. What turned into small bickering instances on YouTube was not expected to turn into full-on feuds on Discord. At first, all you did was send vague and kinda rude comments to me in an attempt to make me stop making things with you. Again, as a child, I didn't take this seriously. And then I got Discord to talk with my friends that I had, and it only got more bad. You publicly bashed me for anything I made for you, and even went as so far as to send me some sort of threat. My memory isn't the best, but my friends picked this up and helped me set things straight with you. It took a while, and eventually, we finally bonded and became friends. Just as I thought things were going to be alright, things exploded into chaos. We got into a war-like drama that had us divided into two sides, with one half turning against you for other separate things that I would rather not discuss due to how out of taste it would look, and the other side staying by you, me included. If I were to go through talking about everything else that happened, aside from what was happening between me, you, and the group, nothing would make sense in the slightest. But I'll try my best to condense what happened between us into this single letter. The others were talking crap about behind your back, with most of the things being things I now agree with. And since you couldn't really take it, you gathered me on the side that stood with you and had an idea to watch them through all accounts on their private servers and wanted to expose them on YouTube. Considering my 11-year-old mind, I thought what we were doing was right. I was just a tween who wanted to keep you safe, and I felt like this was the only thing to do, but it wasn't. And I only realized that a little too late when I began to actually talk with them again back in September 2021. I felt bad, really bad. After I apologized to them, I decided to try and speak out to you in the form of song lyrics. Of course. And it wasn't until early October of that same year where our argumentative days in the private server with your various clueless members blew in. It did not have a pretty ending, for me at least. I was bullied, had my interests and likings mocked, and was basically put down by a majority of your fans for basically anything that I did. Keep in mind, I was just a new 12-year-old and still starting 7th grade. Most of this took place during public school hours, and every time I had to check my phone and mute my notifications or stuff, people looked at me like I had a problem. And it only pushed me to get away from there and you even more, concerning the fact that you didn't even do the bare minimum to stop it. If you did more, then maybe I would have had a different mindset. Finally, the day where I finally had the strength to leave you came. Early in the morning, I woke up to a message that my now ex-friend sent me. I won't go much into what was said, but that was pretty much my breaking point. I had it with being belittled, and I had it with being treated like I was the scum of the earth, and I certainly had it with trying to find solutions to this already broken plot. I left a goodbye note in your server just before I left, but it was deleted due to me not wanting to stir anything up with the server members. And several hours later, I left you my final message, which I now deleted, in a fit of rage in our DMs. I was tired of this stuff and I just wanted you out of my life. It felt like something I should have left a long time ago. Like I was slicing the red thread we had on our wrists since 2020, with a blade. But even after I left you out to run, you unfortunately weren't finished with me, just as I expected. The statuses you posted on your Discord account only proved my point on why I knew leaving you wasn't going to be easy. It wasn't scaring me at the point, it was just getting really annoying. We had to confront you several times and you finally stopped in early 2022. And thank goodness for that. Honestly, if you kept it up, I probably would have went crazy myself. Now, as a 14-year-old freshman in high school, when I look back, I do wish there was a different ending to the situation. But hopefully in another universe, there is that exact ending I've yearned for since the very start. All I want to wish for you now is to hope you grow from this and learn how to not take certain things to heart, instead of putting it on a blast for everyone else to see. It's happened too many times with certain people, and I wasn't gonna let it happen to me. Thanks for taking the time to read this if you did. Steph, aka Defi, and Daoi.